Да, спасибо. Еще раз, коллеги, еще раз. У нас сегодня чудесный день. Давайте мы его начнем. У нас не так много времени. И эта наша встреча приурочена к 30-летию Российской ассоциации бизнес-образования, который наша ассоциация отмечает в этом году. И прежде чем мы начнем, я хочу поблагодарить наших спонсоров нашего юбилея. Вы видите организации, которые поддерживают юбилей РАБО в этом году. Выражаю всем огромную благодарность, уважаемые наши спонсоры. И для того, чтобы нам дальше пройти по нашей программе, я хочу несколько сказать технических вещей, которые будут сегодня у нас на встрече. Во-первых, у нас идет синхронный перевод. Я прошу всех, кому нужен русский текст, внизу есть такой глобус, написано «Перевод». Вы на него наступаете и ставите «Русский», и вы попадаете на русский перевод. Я хочу поблагодарить нашего синхронного переводчика Дениса Успешного, который с нами сегодня поработает. Спасибо большое, Денис. Еще несколько слов по процедуре. Пожалуйста, если вам проще, пометьте ваши окошки, чтобы мы именем и фамилией, чтобы мы понимали, кто у нас сегодня с нами. Нас достаточно много, люди помаленьку заходят. Дальше, что касается, коллеги, вопросов. Пожалуйста, все вопросы пишите в чат, внизу в чат пишите, и мы в конце выберем вопросы или все зададим, если их будет достаточно, и мы попробуем успеть ответить на ваши вопросы. Мы с вами сегодня работаем час, буквально в час 05, через час 05 профессор Адизес должен уже выступать на другом мероприятии. Дальше я хочу сказать вам, что нам любезно компания Институт Адизеса предложил для наших членов скидку в 65% на 4 экземпляра электронных книг доктора Адизеса. Я выложу эту ссылку в чате. Пожалуйста, ее скачайте, потому что страница будет действительно в течение 7 дней для скачивания, и также в течение 7 дней будет действительно эта скидка на приобретение этих книг. И прежде чем мы начнем нашу встречу, я хочу предоставить слово буквально для очень короткого приветствия нашему президенту Российской ассоциации бизнес-образования Сергею Павловичу Мясоедову. Сергей Павлович, пожалуйста, дайте ему, пожалуйста, право войти. Сергей Павлович Мясоедов. Влад.
No, I see him in the chat room.
I see him too, but she needs to get the permission to get.
Алло.
Да, Сергей Павлович, вас слышно, но не видно.
Но не видно.
Влад, что у нас с Сергеем Павловичем?
Сергей выключил микрофон, к сожалению, я не могу насильно его включить.
Сергей Павлович, включите, пожалуйста, меню, не отключайте меня, Влад. Влад, меня не отключайте.
It's up to Natalia.
Влад, не отключайте меня, пожалуйста. Сергей Павлович, вас не слышно. Ну, хорошо, давайте так. Поскольку не слышно Сергея Павловича, а вот он появился, давайте.
Вот, по-моему, теперь, теперь, наконец, мне включили звук. Дорогие друзья, dear friends, first of all, thank you very much that you were waiting for several minutes. First of all, I want to greet the great friend of Russian business education, fantastic scientist, guru of management, Dr. Ицхак Адизес. I was lucky to get acquainted with him in the year of 2006 in Kiev, and since that time, Ицхак, or how he calls himself, Icchak, visited our country several dozen times, and I was lucky to welcome him 5 times at our institute. Very, very often he provides sponsorship lectures for nothing, just for his Russian friends. And as a president of Russian Association of Business Education, I want to tell Dr. Ицхак Адизес, thank you very, very much on behalf of Russian business education, on behalf of RABE. And the fact that tonight you are with us is the best possible present for the 30th anniversary of Russian Association of Business Education and Russian business education as a whole. Спасибо большое. I know that you speak Russian. Thank you very, very much. That's it.
Спасибо большое, Сергей Павлович, спасибо огромное. Мы сегодня с вами поговорим. Да, мы сегодня с вами поговорим на тему лидерства, и я хочу передать слово, чтобы не тратить время, да, передать слово нашему гостю. Ицхак, the floor is yours. That was the key point.
First of all, thank you, Sergey. Thank you, Natalie, for inviting me. This is 30 years for RABE. That means it was established in 1991. That was the first time I visited Russia, by the way. And Bauman University wanted to start teaching Adizes in 91. Nothing happened. So I remember the year 91 very well. And I'm very, very happy my relationship with Russian educators and businessmen. I really look forward to maximum I can contribute to that beautiful country and beautiful people. We have only half an hour for a lecture and 15 minutes for questions. Unfortunately, I have another one to give at 9:05 in Tel Aviv, so I need to be short. What is this Adizes that I can contribute to look at what should business schools teach, looking into the future? Are we really organized business schools, management education schools? Are we really teaching what's necessary to know in the new world we live in, especially looking forward? Are we getting ready? Are we developing the right leaders for the modern life we're experiencing now? I believe we are not. I looked at many business schools. I taught at UCLA, Stanford, Columbia, Tel Aviv University, Hebrew University. 5 universities I was a visiting professor or professor. And then 20 others that I'm involved because of my honorary doctorates. And I see the programs. We are not ready. And I will tell you why. Ready? And here's what we need to do. And Adizes Institute offered free of charge to teach any of your professors in Russia that this methodology so you can teach it at schools. And I will tell you why it's important to teach it. So please, we had from several universities already attending. So we have programs, another program starting in January. I'm continuously teaching webinars for professors. They only have to do some research or some paper, but I'm not asking for money. I want to spread the methodology. What is it? In order to talk about what should be trained leaders of the future, we need to talk about the future. And how does the future look like? we are going through unprecedented rate of change in the history of mankind. Rate of change is accelerating. Today, there are more alive scientists than accumulatively in the history of mankind. And what happens when there is change? Everything in this world, the universe, a country, a company, a family, a human being, everything you look is a system. And the system is composed of subsystems. Take a company, because we are business schools and businessmen here. You have the marketing subsystem, the sales subsystem, the production subsystem, the human capital subsystem, the financial subsystem. A company is a system composed of subsystems. Subsystems do not change in the same speed. There is change going on, accelerated change, and the subsystems do not change in the same speed. Marketing changes faster than sales. Oh, marketing, we have to do a program, we have to plan, do a document, what we want to do, okay. Sales takes a lot of time to train and to reorganize a sales organization. And how long does it take to reorganize production? Oh, longer. And how long does it take to change the accounting system, information system? Even longer. And how long does it take to change people, attitude, competences, capabilities, culture? Ooh. Because the subsystems do not change in the same speed, what happens? The system disintegrates. There are gaps. There are cracks in the system. It starts to disintegrate. That disintegration is manifested in what we call problems. Yura, I don't see my chart. I don't see my slides, please. Thank you. And I'll start with only the first one. Thank you. So, it will be problems. Problems are manifestation of disintegration. Very important point, most important point of this lecture. Look at any problems you
Юра,
have.
мы слайдов не видим. Прошу прощения. Мы не видим слайдов, Юрий. Да, вот, отлично. Спасибо.
We look at any problem you might have in your company, physically, medically. The faucet in your house does not work. The car does not start. Any problem in your personal life, in your marriage, in your company, in the country, I don't care. Any problem. Analyze the problem, and what are you going to find? Something is falling apart. If the faucet is not working, something is falling apart. If you cannot start a company, car, something is your marriage is falling apart. Why? Continue looking. Because of change. Something changed. Change causes disintegration. Disintegration is manifested in what we call problems. Now, the faster is the change, the faster the problems come. And that's what the modern life looks like. A tremendous amount of accelerated change that are attacking us. If our grandparents were poor, not big house, very simple life, but they were happy. We are well off. Standard of living has gone up. We have a car, 2 cars in a family, big house, maybe a dacha outside. Better quality of life, but standard of living. Quality of life gone down. No time for family, no time for yourself. Problems, solutions. Stress. What represents modern world is stressful life. disintegration, falling apart. Companies start, fall apart, disappear. Start, fall, because of the rate of change. So what do? The role of management is to solve the problems. If you're not solving problems, what are you doing? Because if you don't solve a problem, what's going to happen? Change continues. And the problem is becoming bigger and bigger. And what's going to happen at the end? It's going to be a crisis. A crisis is a problem that was not solved in time or not solved well. As Kissinger said, untreated problems are a crisis in waiting. So we have several solutions. In order not to have a crisis, not to have problems, stop change. If you stop change, you stop what creates problems. You stop disintegration. Can you? Has anybody succeeded to stop change? No. Why? When the Big Bang happened and the world was created, what started, if you know physics? Time and space was started with a Big Bang. And what is time? Change. Change is time. Can you stop time? You cannot stop time. You cannot stop change. Although some political parties are trying to do that. Some religions, fanatic religions, stop change. We still want to live in the Middle Ages. Cannot. You can stop yourself to change, but your body continues to age. You can stop your company, but you cannot stop the industry. You can stop the industry, you cannot stop the country. You can stop the country, you cannot stop the world. We cannot stop change. So what do we need to do then? Learn how to manage change. How to solve problems caused by change. Problems that are coming faster and faster and faster and faster. And multidisciplinary. In the past, you had a problem, let's say production. Today, you change something in technology, it changes the market, changes the legal system, changes the financial system. Everything is interwoven and changing fast. The world is becoming complex and stressful. Are we teaching in the business schools how to manage change? I have not seen it. By the way, I encourage you, please, I have a book, Mastering Change, with a manual for the instructor, with a manual for the student. We need to teach how to manage change. Because that's the job of management today. It's not administration, control. It's managing change, because if you don't change, look, even if you are on the right road, you're on the right road, you're doing the right things, everything is perfect. If you don't move and change, a truck might appear and run you over. Why? You're not changing, you're fine, you're happy, but the world is changing. The world cannot say, oh, since you're not changing, we're not changing too. We are going to wait for you. The world is changing. And one day you find yourself outdated. Your biggest threat could be your success. Oh, I'm successful, don't do anything. That's exactly where you're going to get into trouble in the future. So change fast or die slowly. You don't have a choice. And we need to teach how to manage change. And we are not doing it. Why? It is what we are doing. In order to manage change, what do you need to do? First of all, you need to decide what to do. Because you're confronted with a problem caused by change. Now you have to decide, what do we do? I'm in the intersection, which is new change. Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I go back? What the hell do I do? You need to decide. Some people say it's too complicated. too much change, I don't know what's going on, I'm not going to decide, I'm going to do nothing. You just decided. What did you decide? To do nothing. So when there is change, we are constantly deciding, but we are not clear consciously that that's what we are doing. Are you making the right decision? Maybe the right decision is to do nothing, okay, for now. But be conscious. You are constantly deciding. You need to decide what to do. Even when you're not deciding, you're deciding. That's it. Is that good enough? No. How many of us decide to go on a diet? So we decided it's good for 1 week, 2 weeks, back to the old way, or to exercise, or to be a nice person, or what. How many decisions we make that we do not implement, or we implement badly? And that's the problem with the consulting industry. They give you a decision. Here is what you should do. They take money and they leave. And now, what the hell are you going to do? Deciding is not good enough. You need to implement your decision. Here is an important sentence I would like you to have. It's better to have an average strategy, not the best strategy in the world, average strategy that you implement, than to have an incredible, sophisticated strategy that you don't implement. 65% of the consulting recommendations, which is a $50 billion industry, do not get implemented, or they get implemented badly. So it's not good enough to make good decision. You need to implement it very well. Now I want to ask you, all the deans of business schools, do you have one course how to implement decisions? MBA courses, I look at them, they're all about how to make decisions, how to make a good financial decision, good marketing decision, good production decision, good accounting decision, good decisions. Now that you decided, how do you implement it? There is no courses. Because there is an erroneous assumption that if you make a good decision, it will be implemented. It's a good decision. Why would I not implement a good decision? Here is why. The factors that determine if you're going to have a good decision or not are the factors that are going to cause you to have a bad implementation. And the factors that make you for a good implementation, if you use the same factors to make a decision, you're going to make a bad decision. There is conflict. What makes good decision makes a bad implementation. What makes a good implementation makes a bad decision. If I lost you, let me use an analogy. Ready? What do we need for a good decision? We need a genius, very smart person, intelligent, wise, makes all the right decisions. Good education, good experience, good personality, go make good decisions. We need a leader, highly qualified, trained leader. That's what business schools are doing. Teaching courses, so he will be highly qualified, good leader. Bravo. Can you train anybody to make all the right decisions in all situations and never to have a mistake? Does that person exist? Are we trying to create something that does not exist? A unicorn? Even God, if you read the Old Testament, makes a mistake. Bringing a flood and then realizing he's not going to make people righteous. So he stops the flood, brings a rainbow to remind him, stop. You made a mistake, don't repeat the mistake. God admits of making a mistake, God. So who is this human being that never makes a mistake? So what do we need in order to make good decisions sustainably, repetitively, not once in a while? What we need is a complementary team. Complementary team. I call it collaborative leadership. Look at your marriage. Whom did you marry? A person that's different. How different? They're strong in what you're weak. And you're strong in what they are weak. A marriage is a complementary team. Feminine energy, masculine energy. Complementary team. Why? Because children need a complementary person to grow. It's very difficult to raise a child single person, single parent. Same way, difficult to build a company as a single leader because you will die or you will get sick or you will make a major mistake. You need a complementary team. We need collaborative leadership. But what's going to happen? The moment you have a collaborative leadership, necessarily what's going to happen? Because we are different, right? We are different. Now that we got married, we fell in love with our differences. You don't marry somebody who is like you marry somebody who is different that complements you. So it was wonderful. We started a company, partnership. I'm the entrepreneur, sales, strategic alliances, build the business, you run the business. Accounting, human resources, production, you do the administration, I do the entrepreneurial role. That's how it works. But because we are different, what's going to happen? Necessarily, what's going to happen? Conflict. And that conflict can be destructive. It has destroyed marriages. See, Razdobrazny and Stilevi. Conflict. And because it can be destructive, like in a marriage, we don't understand anymore each other. We don't communicate. Now we are just roommates. We don't like the differences. Why are you not like me? So what do we need? We need to have mutual respect, to recognize each other's differences because we benefit from the differences. When somebody disagrees, don't take it as a personal affront to your ego. If you disagree, why do you disagree? What is it that you know that I don't know? What is it that you see that I don't see? What judgment you have that I'm not giving enough importance to? What can I learn from your disagreement so I can make a better decision? Because I don't see everything. You see something I don't see. So help me make a better decision. Mutual respect. You learn from me, I learn from you. We learn from each other. And that's what creates synergy. Because we create something new by learning from each other that we could not have created unless we exchange information.
Включите, пожалуйста, микрофон доктору Адизесу.
Hello? Can I continue? Okay, so
Yes, yes.
we need mutual respect. Recognize each other's differences. Not just recognize, honor. Why? Because you learn from people that disagree with you. If two people agree on everything, one of them is not necessary. Talk to yourself. You look for a very good lawyer who disagrees with you, tells you, no, this is a mistake, this is a... If he agrees with everything, what do you need a lawyer for? You need somebody who compliments you, but that creates conflict, and conflict can be destructive. We need to learn how to respect each other's differences. Look at my hand. Go to church. You see the saints stand like this? What is this? Why are the saints in church standing like this? This is a blessing. It says, be different together. Be different together by respecting each other's differences. Why? Because you learn from it. You learn from people who disagree with you. You don't learn from people that agree with you. Differences based on mutual trust, respect between people that are thinking differently is called democracy. Now try to implement decisions in a democratic way. Forget it. This disagrees and that disagrees and this disagrees and that disagrees. Forever. Democracy is good for decision making. It's a disaster for implementation. What do we need for implementation? Let's go and see that. We need common interests. You want me to cooperate to implement a decision? What is in it for me? Common interest. I have bad news for you. Like I said before, there is no perfect executive that makes all the decisions all the time and is right. There is no common interest either. We have a common interest for a while. We started a company, common interest. We just got married, common interest. With time, the common interest evaporates. You have a big family, I have no family, we are partners. I want to get out, you want to have the children take over the company. Your wife wants different things than my wife, big issue. The spouses play a big role. We just have a different interests. So what happens? More conflict. See that? Conflict of interest. So we have two sources of conflict. Number one, we are different. We think differently. You see the big picture, I see the details. You want to move fast, I want to move slowly. You're willing to take more risks than I am. We are different. We need to work together, but we are different. And we have different interests. I want to change the world, you want to make money. Example. You don't want to take too much risk, I want to take more risk. We have different interests. You want more family life, I want more career life. Conflict. How do we resolve the conflict on the right side? Conflict of interest. Trust. We trust each other. We have a conflict of interest, but you know what? It's very important to you, we go it your way. Next time, it's very important to me, we go my way. Give and take, give and take. And that's where a dictator comes into the picture. Says, trust me, I will lead you to the promised land. So what do you need? strong arm on the right side. So implementation gets done and not just talk about it and go 40 years in the desert, try to find the promised land. You need flexibility on decision making, openness, and controllability in implementation. Inflexibility. So we get the job done. Do you see how incompatible it is? We don't teach this. We don't teach what you need to do to implement decisions. How do you bring common interests together? You have to be a politician. On the left side, you have to be a technician. You have to know marketing, you have to know finance, you have to know production, you have to strategic planning, you have to understand the material. On the right side, you have to be a politician. Look around. What does he want? What does he want? Whom do I need? How do I bring the person I need to cooperate in order we get the job done? We don't teach politics. In my book, you will find how. So whenever there is change, there are problems. To solve the problems, there is going to be conflict. Conflict of styles and conflict of interest. And it could be destructive. It destroys a country. Yugoslavia does not exist anymore. It destroys marriages. It destroys companies. So what happens? Stop change. Not a solution. So what do? Conflict is destructive. Not necessarily. You can make it constructive. How? If there is mutual trust and respect. If there is no mutual trust and respect, your marriage is over. You might not know it, but it's over. It's on paper. Your company is not. Why? Because look, energy is fixed. There is no unlimited energy. If there is no mutual trust and respect, what is happening in the company? A lot of fighting, a lot of rumors, a lot of suspicions, So your limited energy is wasted on internal fighting, lack of trust, lack of respect. And only the surplus left goes to fight the market and to fight the competition. So listen, the less internal fighting, the more internal mutual trust and respect, the less waste of energy, the more energy available to fight the world. That is a secret. The secret of success of a company is the culture of the company for which the leader is responsible. My dear leader, are you building respect and trust or destroying respect and trust? By the way, you can destroy mutual trust and respect and run it totally dictatorially. The company will be successful in the short run. You die, what happens? Everything you build can be destroyed in 1 year. If you build a complementary team, leadership is institutionalized, does not depend on any single individual. And if there is a culture of mutual trust and respect, leaders come and go, we stay. It's a culture of the company that counts. You don't waste energy. Remember, and I'm finishing this. The most important variable for success of a person, because you also have a conflict in your head, you know that. Multiple voices. Do you have self-respect to listen, judge, and come to conclusions, and self-trust in your decision to carry out your decisions? Self-respect and trust. Show me a person that is self-respect and trust. I'll show you success. Why? All the energy is available. And show me a person with low self-esteem. I don't know who I am. I don't know what should I decide. And I'm afraid there is too much risk. What should I do? He might have all the best grades in school, the best student. He is not a leader. Has no self-respect and no self-trust. What makes a good leader is not what you know. It changes faster than you can remember. Everything I learned from my MBA is already obsolete. The world is changing too fast. What makes a good leader is not what you know, is what you are. Do you build a culture of mutual trust and respect? Do you know how to convert conflict to be constructive? Can you give us a vision so we are all behind you, pushing and building that thing for our common good? I think we are teaching people too much to know, not enough to be. And that to be, you don't teach, you do. They teach leadership. You should be this, you should be that. You should behave this way, you should behave that way. Should be a nice person like this. Blah, 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 blah. Do. Let me finish my lecture on this. What does the future look like? And what we are not doing in the business school. We are not teaching how to implement decisions. We are not teaching about how to build a culture of mutual trust and respect. And we are not training leaders to communicate and to be trustworthy and respectful. How they behave. What's missing? I'll tell you what's missing. If you look at the world from the beginning, big picture, we started the chimpanzees. The strongest chimpanzee was a leader. Then we became nomadic society. The best hunter was a leader, strongest. Then we became agricultural society. The one with the most possessions, most sheep, most land was a leader. Common denominator, muscles. The strongest is a leader. We still have that in our political science. The more land you have, the more bombs you have, the stronger you are, the better. Old way of thinking. Then came Industrial Revolution. Muscle was not good enough. Needed brain to plan, to budget, to organize, to spread. Brain. Now we live in what's called post-industrial society, beyond industrial. Now we have computers, data. Where are we now? Totally in the brain. The biggest transportation company does not own one car, Uber. The biggest hotel in the world does not own one hotel, computer, data. Airbnb. What do you think is Google doing, Facebook doing, all Twitter, all of them, Amazon? Data, data, data. Brain. The secret of success now is not muscles anymore, it's brain. Even that is on its way out. That's the future. Artificial intelligence, quantum computers, neural links, whatever it is. There are going to be equipment, machines, computers that think faster and better than our human mind. So you ask a question and you get an answer to the algorithms. So muscles, brain is out. What's the future? God forbid that we are going to be stronger and stronger, bigger and bigger brain, without heart. It's called Nazi Germany. Educated people, tremendous scientists, art and culture, no heart. End of humanity, my friends. The future is to develop the heart. Together. Mutual trust and respect. Love. The companies of the future are the ones that have a heart. Brain you can buy. Heart you don't buy. Are we developing human leaders in our business schools or technocrats who know how to make money? Only brain and muscle, no heart. Are we helping humanity or we are taking humanity down the road to its destruction? We don't love the environment, the air, the water, everything we have. We're destroying the world. No heart. I must stop, otherwise there will be no time for questions. We are not getting ready for the future business schools. We are teaching to know. Outdated. We have to start to teach to be. To be. What kind of a human being are we? Thank you very much. Spasiba. Thank you. Questions?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ицхак. So we have just 3 questions for the beginning, and then I have also the question.
Okay.
May I ask you the first question? What are 3 things you need? 3 things you need to do every day for 15 minutes to be successful?
Okay, look. The secret of success, I already told you, is integration. If you're not together, you're falling apart. How can successful be? If your family is falling apart, if your business is falling apart. The secret is integration. The strongest mineral in the world is a diamond. Why? Totally integrated. So for you, what you should do every day, recommendation, 20 minutes, integrate. What does it mean? Meditate. Trust me, meditate every day for 20 minutes. You will be a better husband, better wife, better parent, better leader, and happier person.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And I recommend a
Thank you,
certain
Ицхак.
meditation.
The next one. Excellent.
I tried many meditations. I would like to recommend a certain one that I believe the most in. It's called heartfulness meditation. You have a branch in Moscow, in every city, all over Russia, by the way. Heartfulness. They focus on the heart, to develop the heart. And that's what we need in this world, to develop the heart. Heartfulness meditation. Yes, next one, please.
Спасибо, Ицхак. Accelerated speed of change. How long do you think it may last? Do you regard as an internal thing, or will it stagnation follow?
Look, Natalia and everybody. We are living now through COVID-19, right? Thousands of millions of people dying. It's not the first pandemic. Before that, we had SARS, and before that, we have MED, and before that, we had Ebola, and before that, we had the Spanish flu, and before that, we have the cholera, and before that, we had the Black Death. But there is something new happening. The time span between one pandemic to the other is getting shorter and shorter. Between the Black Death and the French and the Spanish flu, 300 years. Spanish flu to SARS, 30 years. SARS to COVID, 10 years. What the hell is going on? Acceleration. And why are we having this pandemic getting faster and faster and bigger. I'll tell you why. All problems are caused by change, disintegration. Our world is disintegrating. Our air is dirty. Our food is dirty, full with chemicals. Our body cannot adapt fast enough. We're vulnerable. Our immunity system is weaker. We have diseases today that humanity did not know in the past. The solution is integration. And we are not integrating to deal. We're disintegrating. That's why. And what does it mean? COVID is not the last one. Give me 5 more years. 10 more, maximum 10 more years. There will be another COVID much worse. Until we learn our lesson that we are one. Humanity is one. And we have to integrate with our environment, with the air and the water and the earth. And not disintegrating the world. Until we learn that, it's going to get worse and worse. So if you think this is the end with a vaccine, the vaccine is not the solution. The vaccine is a band-aid. The solution is to stop the rate of change which is disintegrating us, to have an integrated rate of change. We're destroying air, we're destroying water, we're destroying vegetation, we're destroying other animals. We're destroying the world. The manifestation of that disintegration of the world is called COVID. We need new leadership that is open-minded, that accepts differences and learns how to work with differences. Diversity is necessary for success. People have to learn how to work in diversity and benefit from diversity, and not try to destroy diversity. Yes, Natalia.
Спасибо, Ицхак. Давайте следующий вопрос. Денис, переведите, пожалуйста, где граница различия между хорошим менеджментом и хорошим лидерством? И когда что нужно? Когда что в какой момент необходимо?
What's the difference between what and what?
Good management and good leadership.
Leadership for me is to take the company from spot where it is to the stop it should be. Take it from here to here. Like Moses took us from Egypt to the promised land. It means to manage change. It is to point the direction. Where should we go? What should we do? Is an entrepreneurial person and a person that knows how to engage the people and integrate them for a vision. For those of you who know PAI, for me, a leader is more of an EI. Vision, and let's go, guys, and let's go get somewhere. Management is in the PA, execution of the vision, running the business, day-to-day running of it. In the business world, it's called the difference between CEO and COO. And by the way, this distinction between management and leadership is not new. If you look at the science of management, it did not start with the word management. It started with the word administration. That's why we call it Graduate School of Business Administration. Do you see that? That's how it started, administration. The first journal was Administrative Science Quarterly. Chief Administrator. And then what happened? The word administrator lost its luster. It is for low-level bureaucrats, you know. And we created a new word, management. By the way, it does not exist in many languages. In Russian, you have руководение, управление. Same thing in Spanish, 2 words. They don't have the word management. That they use the word management, the English word, because in the language does not exist. it was created to say administration is not good enough. And in many business schools, like my business school, changed its name from Graduate School of Business Administration to Graduate School of Management. Then management lost its luster. Oh, it's for little low-level management. What we really need is leadership. Give me 5 years. Leadership will lose its name. They're going to come with another name. Emperor, I don't know. You know why we are changing names? Because no name is working. And leadership is not going to work either. We have to change the paradigm from individualistic leadership to co-leadership, to team leadership. Because none of them, no administrator, no manager, no leader can do the job. What we need is a complementary team, collaborative leadership. So leadership is different from management today. Leadership is future, integration, leading us to the future. Management is executing it day to day. My dear friends, spasiba. Thank you very much, Sergey, Natalie, and everybody in Rabe. And please, I'm telling you, if you are a professor teaching in the university, I'm inviting you to my program free. You will have to do something. You have to write a paper or do something.
Can you tell me, Ицхак, which program you are announcing? The people are asking.
Yeah, the next program is starting in February, no, January 19, I think, is how to implement decisions. The one how to make a decision I just finished, Natalie, you just took it. And this is going to be available on a, what's called on a not live.
How can people register for this program?
Please look at Yura. Give where should they contact us for the programs?
Юрий, вы можете мне прислать ссылочку? Я разошлю членам РАБО, ладно? Пожалуйста.
Конечно, я вышлю ссылку.
So professors.
Юрий, пришлете мне, ладно? Спасибо, я буду ждать. Коллеги, мне Юрий пришлет, я разошлю.
Professors apply for a fellowship, and if you do some little work, you know, then you don't have to pay more than 10% something. I want you to be teaching the Adizes methodology in your school. And the businessman is how to implement decisions is a 6 weeks program. Okay? There are many programs. Welcome to any one of them. Thank you very much, Amasran. Sergey, all the best. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ицхак. Thank you. We love you and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ицхак. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Денис, спасибо огромное, Денис. И вам, и Юрию спасибо. Юрий, жду ссылочку, разошлю всем членам РАБО и зарегистрировавшимся. Коллеги, и ссылка на запись нашей сегодняшней встречи также будет у нас на сайте РАБО. Пожалуйста, всем